Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Club Lucha Podcast. I am your host, Foos, and I'm joined alongside our other two hosts. First, Floke, and second, Super Liger. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, no complaints.
So we're
Lots
doing.
of stuff to talk about.
There's a ton of stuff to talk about. This is going to be a pretty packed episode, and of course, we know that everyone is very much buzzing about the latest news between AEW and CMLL, that partnership. So we're going to go ahead just off the bat and talk about what has happened since our last episode dropped. So, Soups, on the episode of Dynamite after our last episode here, we had a trios match between the Team CMLL, Volador Jr., Hechicero, Máscara Dorada, and the Blackpool Combat Club. Your thoughts on that match?
I thought that was a really, really good match. I thought we were kind of just going to get the kind of typical trios match. And then, Mox hits a death rider or something, 1, 2, 3. Maybe the CMLL team retaliates, beats them down afterwards. But we get Claudio Castagnoli hitting a low blow on Hechicero to secure the win. So very interesting to see how they're kind of turning into the Rudos here, which kind of sets us up down the line for another show. But I thought it was a great match.
It was interesting. And during this entire match, we had Místico at ringside and two guys with him. Floke, did you expect these two guys to be there? Who were these two guys?
The two guys that were ringside, or more like in the crowd alongside Místico, were Star Jr. and Esfinge. I was not expecting either of them to, but I'm assuming since they both have work visas in the USA, they were two of the people available for that night, so very unexpected.
I was going to say, funny enough, like you said, unexpected. I mentioned it before. I don't think, did anybody expect Esfinge and Star Jr. here?
No.
I was not. I was expecting, someone that's like higher up the card or someone that's more frequently in main events, like maybe like Barbaro Cavernario, someone a bigger name. I was not expecting Star Jr. and Esfinge.
That is a crazy, when I saw that at first, and I'm going to be completely honest, when that Dynamite was airing, I missed the the introductions, the entrances, and the whole part before that where they showed Místico and those two at ringside. And somebody said in our Discord, I just saw Esfinge sticker 30 times. I was like, there ain't no way, bro. I switched it over. Esfinge, bro. He's just sitting there in the crowd with them. I could not believe it, bro. I could not believe it. Like you said, Esfinge is he's not the top of the pecking order. He's not main eventing Fridays, every week. He's not on the cards. He appears on the cards, but I just even if we go past the Técnico Rudo, say they brought a Técnico and a Rudo, it didn't really matter. They're just bringing reinforcements to AEW. Esfinge was not even in the top 5 of guys that I expected to be there.
No.
And I mean, it was so unexpected because, like you were saying, you saw a bunch of people spamming Esfinge gifts, and I was like, or Esfinge stickers, and I was like, oh god, I saw that. I was like, people are gonna be mentioning me a bunch and be like, oh look, your favorite's appearing on AEW.
Your go Esfinge showed up.
So very, I was like, oh god.
But they did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say after the match, they did surround the BCC, and then they got AW guys came back out to provide backup. But out of that match, we did end up getting Esfinge and Star Jr. against Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, and that match I thought was very it wasn't a fantastic match, but it was not a bad match. I thought they did very well for the time they had, especially being, not top guys in CMLL.
Yeah, it was a good TV match. They got their stuff in. Esfinge almost locked his finish in, but he was interrupted, so could have been on different trajectory if he got the pin there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good showcase match for them. You know, it wasn't the best match ever, but you know, for showing off, you know, Star Junior and Esfinge was definitely a good showing.
It was good. They got some good stuff in. There wasn't anything that was super awkward that just kind of like, you know, killed the match or anything. Like you said, if Esfinge had locked in the Nudo Egipcio, like
It would have been over.
It would have been over. John Moxley's not kicking out of that, brother.
No, he doesn't know how to.
There's one man who's kicking out of it. Actually, I feel like there's a couple guys who's kicked out of it, but Bárbaro Cavernario, when he kicked out of it and then he used it to beat Esfinge.
Yeah.
No, I can't relive this.
But I mean, John Moxley, he just doesn't have the know-how. He hasn't seen it enough times.
No.
He hasn't studied it.
He hasn't studied it.
Regal didn't teach him that.
Yeah.
They don't teach that, bro. They don't teach that at the PC, OVW.
Yeah. And also a day before that on Rampage, they had a match between Místico and Matt Sydal. What did you guys think of that match?
Again, another really good kind of TV match. You get what you kind of expect. Místico, not even getting La Mística. I think it was just the Spanish Fly and then a pin, right?
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing out of that for me was I would trade Matt Sydal for Flip Gordon in a heartbeat to have him on more CMLL shows. But I don't think I would want Flip Gordon on AEW. So maybe just like share Matt Sydal, I think would be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best case scenario.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Matt Sydal, he worked really well with Místico, and that Spanish Fly finish was interesting. He's used it to finish matches before.
Yeah.
So it's not like a super surprising, but I guess it is pretty nice to see him pull that out on instead of La Mística. And then I would absolutely trade Matt Sydal for Flip Gordon.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, I think that like Flip Gordon, from what he has shown in CMLL, and I'm not somebody who is like super familiar watching Flip Gordon matches outside of CMLL, but like what he's shown me in CMLL, he's just not like everything he does. It kind of feels like everybody else can do it better. Like everybody else, like on his part of the card is like doing it a little better than him already. So maybe they're hoping he like continues to get better and like acclimates more and turns it up some. But right now, I don't know if I would keep him over Matt Sydal. I think Matt Sydal would be awesome in CMLL.
Flip's in a weird spot where I watched Ring of Honor back in his heyday, I guess, like 17, 18. And he's really coasting off of like the 3 months he had the juice for in 2018. And I don't know how he's still getting like major promotions looking at him in 2024, but good for his bank account, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must. I mean, the thing is, like, he's not bad. I don't think he's a bad, like, from what I've seen, but it's just like, let's kick it up a notch or two.
Average.
Yeah. Again, just our opinions. I don't know anybody else like who's not watching CMLL who's tuning into CMLL just to see Flip Gordon though. So
yeah, send an email if you are.
Send an email if you're watching CMLL only for Flip Gordon.
That'd be crazy. But we got through that weekend, and it was honestly the shock of seeing Esfinge on TV. Going back to Esfinge again, that was just like, the thing is, you know what's awesome though? You know what was really cool about the entire thing is how many fans Esfinge have made just appearing.
He got over right away.
He got over crazy, bro. Like, this might be like a hot take. Esfinge has gotten over on AEW TV more than like a lot of guys, I feel like. Not like top guys, but there are some guys who like I feel like they appear on AEW and they're always just missing something. Esfinge has showed up and people just saw his mask and they were like, that guy is awesome. Like that guy is so real.
Yeah.
He's not even like, I wouldn't even say he's like a super worker or anything, but
no, he's a completely average worker with a awesome look, and that's good enough for me.
Strong fan base. He has a strong fan base.
Oh yeah. We're rabid out there, the Esfingites.
Esfinge, if you ever listen to this, we support you.
We love you.
Keep it going.
They support you.
Dude, that plancha. Hey, look, nobody's doing it like him.
Yo, they on AEW, their camera work was subpar for that match, and they missed the plancha on the camera cut, and I was pretty heated. That's a signature move they got to feature.
We're gonna need a fan cam of that. Somebody recording from the audience, send that in.
Submit your Esfinge fan cams, please.
Please do. Holy.
Send it in the emails.
Yeah. So yeah, the emails at or theclublucha@gmail.com. That is theclublucha@gmail.com. Inbox is still empty. All I get is TikTok notification emails in there. So after the match with Esfinge and Star Jr. on Collision, we had CMLL's Tuesday show, February 6th, 2024, which featured as the main event the Reyes del Aire tournament. Reyes del Aire is supposed to be a tournament featuring a lot of high flying and, just like amazing sort of luchadores, a lot of rope tricks, dives, cool things like that. However, there was a very big problem with the show streaming that Tuesday. Look, what do you remember about that?
It was very laggy. It was very broken. The stream was broken. You would it would just keep loading, and then you would fast forward a couple seconds, and then all you see was like some action going on, but moving like 2 or 3 times the speed, and it was unwatchable. It was unwatchable, and it's something that needs to be fixed for Tuesday shows and just Arena Mexico shows in general. If you're gonna be streaming them onto the YouTube, you need to have that stuff fixed and make sure it's working because that match was unwatchable and CML had to take it down like directly after and upload a fixed version. Like I think it was like the next day.
Yeah, it was like a day and a bit.
Yeah,
it was really like you said, unwatchable. You couldn't tell what was going on at all, which kind of sucks because we figured out the winner the same night just from people like who were actually there, live accounts and like results. And we did have our winner. You may know him already. El Rey de Plata y Oro.
Místico won. Whenever I went back and watched the match, I was honestly, I didn't think it was the best match, but it was a typical torneo cibernético. I thought there was some good moments. I liked seeing Sandokan Jr. get a bit more time to shine in the tournament. He wasn't, one of the first ones eliminated, so I'm happy about that. But whenever they talk about Torneo Reyes del Aire, I felt like this year's edition honestly didn't really live up to the name Reyes del Aire. It felt more like, oh yeah, this is a Torneo Cibernético. They just stamped the Reyes del Aire name on it.
I agree. I think with all the names that were in it, I thought we should have seen maybe a little more like, oh my god, moments,
Crazy spots, like
yeah.
Máscara Dorada doing some crazy basing off someone, some stuff like that.
It wasn't bad. It certainly wasn't bad going back and watching it. But
it wasn't bad.
If you've never watched, I guess if you've never watched like a Torneo Cibernético, it'd be a good one to watch. Go back and see for the first time. But like, it wasn't, super outstanding.
And it's not. Yeah, it wasn't like the greatest thing in the world. Like it was a good Torneo Cibernético, and it was it was a good match for what it was.
Yeah, I'm happy Místico won. He never won it before, so there's another notch on the belt.
Yep, won 2 tournaments back to back.
That's why he's the GOAT right there.
That's why he's the GOAT, bro. Look, I'm telling you, if he could be in Parejas Increíbles or whatever.
Oh, thank God he's not.
Bro, he would win it.
I'm so glad he's not. But yeah, that Tuesday show was honestly pretty forgettable. There wasn't much many things that stood out, and the final match was just broken and had to be uploaded again a full day later.
Yeah,
it
was actually kind of crazy because there was absolutely no stream issues until the main event.
Yeah,
as soon as the main event started,
everything went to shit. Just
fell apart.
It fell apart. They need to make sure that doesn't happen again, or at least fix it, or someone tell us what's going on, and if you're gonna upload it, and take it down and then upload it a full day later, because you can't be promoting this new membership, and then having the Tuesday streams die and like define the main event, or just having a bunch of technical issues all throughout the show. Like,
Yeah.
you can't be doing that. It's very bad, and it's gonna make people want to stay away from your membership, because you pull in new members, and then you have those issues, and they're gonna be like, you don't even bother getting the membership because the stream is probably going to have some sort of issues, or you might not even get to watch the main event. So that's something to look out for
sure.
for
I will
CML.
say, since then though, I can't recall any major stream issues since that fiasco. So they either
Yeah,
they
not too
fixed
many.
it, or they're monitoring it a lot closer in case it ever happens again.
Yeah.
They can fix it. So happy with that. But we had that show on Tuesday, February 6th. On Wednesday, February 7th, the usual day for CMLL Informa, the weekly talk show. There wasn't a ton of super notable news that I can recall. We had, I think,
The
the
announcements of
yeah.
Lady Frost coming
Oh,
in for like a week.
yeah, Lady Frost is back. That's awesome. We also had like the Torneo de Escuelas like rosters, I think,
Yeah.
which leads us to the Friday show from the 9th, actually, February 9th. CMLL on Friday. It was the first round, the main event, the first
Mhm.
round of the Torneo de Escuelas, which is like, I don't know if we talked about it too much on the last episode, but to put it like shortly, it's basically just like younger kind of rookies, almost like trainees, not even like rookies, but like almost like trainees, people,
No, more rookies, I would say. It's more
rookies.
like rookies from the different like schools in Mexico, and they're being brought in as a team, and there's like CML is having like these teams to determine which school is the best or whatever, and they're picking out certain wrestlers from each of the schools to stay around, or some of them might go back to the independent scene, but it's up to CML to see who gets to stay.
Mm. Yeah, because like you can tell some of the guys are definitely a lot more green than,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know, just like watching over the last 2 weeks, some of the guys are like, yeah, they're really not ready. But there was a few
Yeah,
that
stood out.
stood out a lot.
Yeah, one of them being Platino Keith. I mean, I had already told you guys, both you and Soups. I was like, you guys got to watch out for this guy. He's great, and he really showed out in that match. I wish he would have lasted longer in the match, but what he got in was honestly a great showing. Great showing.
I agree. And this is from the February 9th show. That Friday, Platino
Mhm.
Kid was on the Comarca Lagunera team, right?
Yes, he was.
He was on the Comarca Lagunera team, and they were going up against the Mexico City team.
Mhm,
And from what I saw, like, I'm going to tell you the guys I thought stood out to me, the guys I liked seeing,
mhm.
and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys just give me your thoughts as well. But um, on that Mexico City team, I think the guy that stood out to me the most was Alom. Um, big old dude, like how tall is he? Like 6'5"?
I
He
have no
was
Yes, yeah,
clue.
I think he was
I
6
have
when we looked it up.
I
Yeah,
have no, I have
he
no clue,
was
but
huge. Everything
absolute monster.
he had a
yeah.
presence, bro. Like he was massive. One thing I think I saw mentioned by others as well. You don't need to go to the top rope, brother. You don't. You don't need to go to
Yeah,
the top rope
yeah.
unless
Yeah,
like
like
it's unless it's like for like a super like just like a plancha to like put them away. Like that's your finisher, just a simple plancha from the top. You don't need to go to the top
yeah.
rope for anything else.
Yeah, I thought Alon was pretty decent. He wasn't one of the best for me on the Mexico City team, but I thought he was decent, and I could maybe see him sticking around if they win the tournament. If CML wants another big tall dude.
For sure. I also Legendario. I thought that he was okay. We were talking about it, I think, during the actual stream,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
he would have some moments where I'd be like, "Wow," and then like the very next moment, I'd be like, all right," and then that
Yeah,
one,
his first sequence when he was cooking crazy, and then he goes for a Sasuke special, and he doesn't clear the top rope.
just smacks
uh,
into the rope, and then he's pulled down by whoever he was
I
jumping.
thought he was crying somewhere.
But it weren't bad. There's I think for me on
Uh,
the CDMX team, those two guys. stood out to me the most on the Comarca Lagunera team.
Mhm.
I liked that team. I think I wanted to see them more, and I think I wanted to see them like advance over the CDMX team.
I could see that.
Like
Yeah.
Platino Kid, I liked. I
Yeah.
saw that a lot of people did not like Infarto, and I liked Infarto.
Yeah, I have that on my notes. It says that he's Foo's boy, so well documented that you like him.
I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was the best, but I mean, he was there. His presence was felt, but I
And-
didn't think he was the best out of that team. Probably on the lower half of that team, along with the Misteriosos. I thought Viento Negro was honestly pretty cool.
He was good. Yeah, I liked him too.
I thought Viento Negro and Emperador Jr.
Mhm.
I liked Emperador Jr.
I think those guys, yeah. Misteriosos,
They were in the tournament last year.
yeah, I can't say they did anything that really made me be like, raise an eyebrow or anything like that, but maybe next year if they're in the tournament again, or if they
They had matching shoulder tape, which was really cool. I like
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
matched that tape.
they weren't like, I mean, they weren't like god awful, but like
There
sometimes,
was some iffy moments.
and I think sometimes like you have to stand out in these kind of tournaments, right? Like you have
Yeah.
to bring your A game, or else you just look like another guy,
Yeah.
and they just look
Yeah,
like
he was like another rookie.
So to me, yeah, Infarto, Platino Kid, he was good. Viento Negro was good. I think maybe it's just like Infarto's mask that I just is making me overlook a lot of things.
Might have been.
But what do you guys think? Favorite guys from CDMX, favorite guys from La Comarca Lagunera?
From CDMX, probably Legendario, and I think Forneo was also pretty good. I could tell Astro Boy Jr. was a Caronte, so that was something. But out of the CDMX team, Legendario and Forneo definitely impressed me the most. And then for the Laguna team, I thought Platino Kid was, I was already like on this guy because I was like, watching Angel Elegante's channel, and I was like, yo, you guys need to check this guy out. And he, honestly, I already liked him, but that's showing. He brought his best whenever in that match. And Emperador Jr., being I think the final one for his team was also really cool. I was honestly hoping he would have won it, but he unfortunately didn't. So it is what it is.
For me, Leyendario was just so interesting because he was like he really truly had like a 50-50 hit rate on all of the high spots he was going for. So I mean, he had me watching intently anytime he was on the screen, whether it be for better or for worse. And then on the other side, I liked the Misterioso brothers when they were together, when they were getting like tandem offense in. I thought that they looked really competent. But it was when they were alone, you were just like, oh, these are just two guys here. So liked them together, but separate, they were definitely lacking.
I will say overall, the first round, it was all right. I don't think it was, super fantastic. It wasn't a train wreck. It wasn't bad, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine.
The rest of the card, let's see, taking a look at it really quickly. Fine.
Yeah, there wasn't much notable. There wasn't much other notable stuff in the show.
Yeah.
Besides, like the opener had, they were doing post-match challenges for a 2v2 mask match.
Oh yeah. That was
And, we'll get to that soon.
Yeah, we'll come back later.
Mhm,
so we get through February 9th, Friday show. So this Tuesday, the 13th of February, we had another I think this was a really good card for a Tuesday. There were quite a few matches on it that I really enjoyed, actually. The first being El Audaz against El Coyote. I thought that one was pretty good. Especially it was
I thought that was a good match for them.
10 minutes. And I think they got it right on 9:59, right?
Because of a fast count.
They cooked it. Yeah.
I'll let him get away with that one.
Yeah, when it works, it's awesome. Yeah.
If they had I don't know, maybe sped it up by like a second. They probably would have got that a lot more naturally, but I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Good match. My favorite match of the whole night, though, the one that really got me, I don't know, the most excited was Blue Panther, Hijo de Blue Panther, and Blue Panther Jr. against Cranio and Los Gemelos Diablos. I think that match was really fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun match. Probably like second favorite match of the card. I still think Audace versus Sequoia that was a little better, but that was definitely a match that I was not expecting to be as fun as it ended up being.
Yeah, it really for people kind of new to seeing Blue Panther, especially at his age, I think not to spoil any news, but I think he would still be kind of capable of a 1v1 kind of match with a capable opponent who we might talk about later.
That's
Yeah.
true. If you get somebody to like protect him a little bit, yeah,
Mhm.
someone would have to carry a little bit, but like this will be very interesting.
Maybe a mat-based technical wrestler.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows that could be?
Yeah.
Yeah, and another match on this card that was actually pretty decent was Los Bárbaros versus Los Infernales, which ended up with Los Infernales actually taking the win over Los Bárbaros.
Who had
And then
just
we got a
won?
post.
They just
Yeah,
won
who had
those
just
titles.
exactly, yeah. And we had a post-match promo or a post-match challenge actually from Averno, saying that Barbaro was, he was talking all this trash, that he's a double champ and, he's building himself up, saying like he's unstoppable and stuff like that. And he was basically like, if you're going to build yourself up like this and say that you're all that, he was like, why don't you give me a title opportunity for your CML World Light Heavyweight Championship? The next day on Informa, we found out when it's going to happen. So if you guys want to transition over to that, we can
Absolutely.
do that.
Well, there's one more thing I wanted to mention on this one as well. The Lady Frost debut.
Debut.
Or not debut, well, re-debut, I
Return.
guess. Return.
Yeah,
return.
Was she at Puebla on Monday, actually?
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
this
think
is even...
yeah. Well, her comeback to Arena Mexico.
Yeah, her Tuesday night re-debut. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was a
Lady
match.
Frost is cool.
I like her.
Yeah, she was cool.
She can do all those high flying stuff really well with her gymnast background. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
Solid stuff. But yeah, no, we actually can talk about the big news now. So the very next day after that, Wednesday, February 14th, CMLL Informa, which if you're not watching CMLL Informa, what are you doing on Wednesday nights? And by Wednesday nights, I mean
Wednesday.
5 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Sometimes usually late, but
yeah, it's like 15 minutes late, something like that.
But we had some massive news,
Massive,
like insanely massive. The whole, I feel like the big theme of this Informa, the biggest thing that's coming out of this is we got basically the entire card for Homenaje a dos Leyendas revealed, which is like the second biggest CMLL show of the year behind El Aniversario, and it's like a show honoring Salvador Duterov. Yeah,
Salvador, and then another wrestling legend, which ended up getting revealed the previous week on Informa, which was Tony Salazar, who you guys might know as the father of Magnus or the father of Alexis Salazar, the person who takes all of CML's like professional photos.
He worked for CMLL basically
for a long time.
Yeah, since he worked as like a luchador, and then he's also been working like as a trainer behind the scenes. Like since then, and they mentioned that, which is cool for him because they were like, yeah, like they mentioned his loyalty to CMLL and how much he's helped them and stuff, how many people he's helped. He's had a hand in training, including El Rey de Plata Oro, Místico. So he's had a hand in a lot of like careers, So
yeah, he definitely has, and he's a great choice for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. A great pick. Very much deserves it. We are gonna go down really quickly. Yeah, to just, and I don't know if all of these are in the order they were announced. Well, I think the first one that was announced was Esfinge.
The first one announced was the opener, which is crazy to have this as an opener. Rugido and Magnus of Los Depredadores defending their Mexican national championship, tag championships, against the winner of La Gran Alternativa and the person that was the other person that was in the finals, the other rookie that was in the finals, Neon. And wow, that is a crazy match to open the card, especially when if you've seen Los Depredadores versus Futuro and Neon, there are two matches that they've had. This should be an insane match.
Absolutely. Their match, well, like you said, their two matches with Futuro and Neon. Last year, for me, that was one of the best matches of the entire year.
Oh,
This year,
of
their
course,
VIP
yeah.
match almost reached the same level. Didn't quite get there,
Yeah.
but it was still really, really good. And I think we were talking about this earlier. If Brillante Jr. comes out, at 100, I think Neon is going to come out at 100 regardless, just based on what we've seen from him. He's always, putting in the really good work. And then Magnus and Trujillo, if they can reach that same level from that, this is an insane opener. Like, you can just tell from this first match, oh, it's going to be stacked.
Yeah, it's going to be stacked. And then the second match that they actually announced directly after this is going to be Esfinge defending his Mexican national light heavyweight championship against El Rey del Mundo, Sandokan Jr.
Golly.
Tell us.
Which, I mean, holy, I mean, if you know me, I'm a very big Sandokan Jr. fan. So him possibly, finally getting his moment to win a championship, I'm all in for this.
This is a proxy, basically, between Floke and Super Liger.
Yeah.
top guy versus Super Liger's top guy, Esfinge.
I was just gonna mirror what Floke said. If you know me, I'm a big Esfinge fan, so this is huge for me, for him to get another defense of the belt. So, but in all honesty, I think this has, again, this is like great potential to just be two guys throwing down.
Yeah.
If you watch the World Tag League with Sandokan Jr. just throwing ridiculous chops all tournament, busting Tai Chi's chest open, I'm hoping we get some of that here. And Esfinge, he's gonna hit the plancha, he's gonna hit the dive, the splash, nudo egipcio, game over, 1, 2, 3. But
No. We're getting a new champ. We're getting a new champ for sure.
Match 2, that's crazy too. This is the second match.
that's awesome. That's so good.
Good.
And then moving on to the third match, like I was talking about on the Tuesday show, the night prior, Averno laid out a challenge to Barbaro Cavernario for his CML World Light Heavyweight Championship, and it was confirmed on Informa that Barbaro Cavernario will be defending that championship against Averno at Homenaje a dos Leyendas.
So again, this is like, you said it earlier. I completely agree. This could be like the show stealer right here.
Yeah.
If you follow CMLL, Barbaro Cavernario, especially recently. I mean, he's always been a hooper, but recently,
different level. Yeah,
he's
he's
a different beast right now. Like,
new shoe deal kind of hooper.
He's in his contract year. It's got to be or something.
I really like Averno going into this match. Just a different kind of like just anti-hero. Like, I don't know. He just seems really cool. It just seems like a dope dude going into this match. I don't think for a second he's gonna win the title, but I just like him a lot. I think he's really cool.
Yeah. Yes. Same here. I think the match will be great. It has a lot of potential. I don't think Averno's winning the title, but I mean, I think the match, like you were saying, it has potential to steal the night. And I mean, you pair these guys' two styles, and I feel like it's gonna click so well.
Yeah.
Whenever the time comes.
Averno's definitely always been a guy you can get a good match out of.
Yeah. So speaking of the card, that is where we come to the end for title matches. Because the fourth match on the card is a lucha de apuestas. Well, actually, it's a cuadrangular de máscaras, which is a four-way mask match where one mini superestrella is going to lose their mask. And the four people that are in this match are Pierrotito, Acero, Angelito, and Pequeño Olímpico. Now, what do we think about this being the big apuestas match for Homenaje a dos Leyendas?
My thoughts here. If it's Pierrotito and Olímpico at the end, that's absolutely insane. Because their masks, I mean, Pierrotito and Pequeño Olímpico have been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know, like they have been there. And I'm gonna say this: I like both of them. Right? I think they're both pretty good. So I don't think it'll come down to those two. But if it does, holy, that would
It's
that would
going to
actually be
something.
insane. That would be like historical. You know?
Yeah. I think the easy way out for this match should just be unmasking Acero, because I feel like Angelito's still too young to be unmasked. He's like 26,
Mhm.
so I think he still has a lot of years left in him. So the easy way out would just be having Acero unmasked, but Pequeño Olímpico or Pierrotito could also want a big payday, so that's also on the table.
That's true. The coward's way out is Acero and Angelito final two. Acero loses.
Yeah.
The most illogical way out is Acero, Angelito final two. Angelito loses. The most insane way out, Pierrotito and Pequeño Olímpico, either one of them lose.
Yeah.
I guess the anything could happen way out is anybody who's not Angelito and Acero wins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Acero's the one that always one that ends up unmasking, Pierrotito, Angelito, or Pequeño Olímpico.
That would be crazy. But again, I don't think Acero is taking Pierrotito's mask. I don't think he's taking Pequeño Olímpico's mask. I don't think he's taking Angelito's mask. If anybody takes Pierrotito or Pequeño Olímpico's mask, it's going to be like the other one, or maybe Angelito.
Yeah.
Depends on what they're going to want to do with him later on.
Yeah. I'm thinking for this match, if you're asking me for a prediction, I'm thinking Pequeño Olímpico loses his mask due to him, winning Último Dragoncito's mask in 2022. So that's my way of thinking. I'm not sure who, but I see him probably losing this mask, I think.
I hope he doesn't lose his mask just because I love that Pierrot yellow and black design. I just think it's so good. And also, like, let's keep the kayfabe up. He's Puerto Rican,
No, yeah, I don't think Pierrotito is losing. I think Pequeño Olímpico is probably, I would say, is my prediction to lose. Probably to Pierrotito if I had to pick anyone.
Does Pequeño Olímpico have hair under his mask or no?
Let's find out.
I'm not sure. Let's find out. We can find out. He loses.
We'll see it soon. We'll see it soon. But
what about you guys? What do you predict?
I think I'm with you. Like, I think it's a big card, so I don't think they can take the coward's way out here. So I think Pequeño Olímpico probably should, but whether they do it or not, we'll see.
I'm gonna say they're taking the coward's way out. I'm taking Acero. Acero's dropping it. To who? I don't know. I think Acero's dropping it.
Right.
But we'll see. It'd be fun to be wrong. Either way, no matter what happens, I think this match is going to be very satisfactory.
Yeah, it's always fun to see a guy lose his mask. Like, I love seeing the tears fall from the face as they have to unmask. It's always super dramatic and super entertaining.
After this, we get some big news of an AEW star coming to Arena Mexico, and it is actually Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale is coming in for a trios match alongside Tessa Blanchard and La Catalina. Hooray!
Hey! Whoa.
Facing off against Stephanie Vaquer, Zexis, and Lluvia. What are we thinking about this one?
I like 5 out of the 6 people in this match, and detest one of the 5 or one of the 6. Sorry. Yeah, this would be a great match if you replace Tessa. Like, I think we were talking earlier, replace Tessa with like Lady Frost, and I think we're cooking something cool here. But Tessa has not been good, and I'm not seeing it.
If you put Lady Frost in here, you have the perfect card from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I don't know. I mean, Maybe they don't got internet in the CMLL front office. They don't really know.
Snail
much.
mail.
Yeah. They're going to, after the show, they're going to be like, she did what?
They just saw that she won the TNA World Championship, and they're like, "Damn, we should get her down for some shows."
I don't know
But,
anything past that.
yeah, I mean, this match looks interesting. I think it'll be a solid match. You know, it has a lot of potential. Especially, I can't wait to see the interactions between Willow and Stephanie Vaquer.
Absolutely.
Um,
I think Willow Nightingale, she's somebody who I always like seeing on AEW TV. You know?
yeah, same here.
Yeah, really good.
She has such like good energy when she comes out. Like I love her entrance music. She's just like very infectious with her energy. She's good in the ring. She got to figure it out. I like Willow Nightingale a lot. Really good.
Yeah.
I think the best case scenario here would be if Chris Statlander is in the crowd with Stokely Hathaway watching the match.
That'd be crazy. Dude, they bring Stokely in after the match and just they hit him with that package pile driver.
No, my.
That'd be nuts. Holy. But that's, the card is shaping up really, really well. And then we had the absolute hammer dropped on us.
Golly.
Well, actually, before that, the sixth match, which yes, this Homenaje a las Leyendas is going to be a 7-match show, which is honestly kind of unusual. But the sixth match is going to be the finals of El Torneo Increíble de Parejas, which has not started. I think it's starting in like 1 or 2 weeks. And the two finalist teams are going to be facing off in the sixth match. And we'll see. We'll talk more about it whenever they reveal the teams and who our predictions. But moving from that, like Fuz was saying, we had a major announcement. Fuz, would you like to tell us what that was?
Absolutely, absolutely. Many people have been clamoring for this for ever since Bryan Danielson made it apparent or made it known that he wanted a match with the legendary Blue Panther. People have been clamoring for this, asking for it. When CMLL first announced their partnership with AEW back in October, people's eyes immediately turned to El Maestro Lagunero, wondering perhaps if one day soon we would finally get that dream match. And as of that Informa, it was revealed to us that the Blackpool Combat Club, including Bryan Danielson, were coming to Arena Mexico to be in the main event of Homenaje a las Leyendas. Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta will be facing off against El Rey de Plata y Oro, Místico, Volador Jr., Blue Panther, and Último Guerrero in Relevos Atómicos, the main event. What are we thinking?
Oh, what a stacked main event. And I know I've seen some people complaining about why is Último Guerrero in this match, but if you haven't watched CML, if you didn't watch CML in 2023, Último Guerrero was not that big of a part of it, or
He
at
was
least
not.
didn't get, he didn't get so many like singles matches and so many opportunities. Like no, Último Guerrero was, didn't have a humongous presence on 2023 when it comes to CML.
Yeah, often, like, for a while, the meme was, like, Último Guerrero, LOL, like, he's going to be there and he's going to win.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, people are like, oh, he's booking himself to do everything. 2023, he was not there. So, I have seen complaints, 2 big complaints that I saw. One is super surprising. The other one is what you just said about Último Guerrero. There were people complaining, they were saying, why is Blue Panther in it? What do you mean? Why is Blue Panther in it? That's the one guy that was handpicked.
Yeah,
that's the one guy. Yeah, it's the reason.
Holy, god damn!
It was on Instagram, and I think it was I don't think it was like American fans. I think it was like Mexican fans. They were like, "Why is Blue Panther there?" Which I guess maybe if you're not as online, I guess if you're not online, it would make sense for them to be asking that. But then I think CML is going to have to really hit on the point that he was they specifically asked for Blue Panther.
Yeah.
Último Guerrero too. I'm going to say this. Personally, I wanted Último Guerrero in this match because I wanted to see Último Guerrero and Bryan Danielson in it together. They've been in a match together.
I'm waiting for them to have a chance off. I'm waiting for Raising the Roof versus the Yes chance.
Holy.
That's going to be crazy. And then obviously, Volador Jr., Real Beast, Místico, top guy. You can't not have him there, So to me, the team makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's some people who are saying like, why isn't Hechicero in this match, or why isn't Máscara Dorada in this match? Unfortunately, with Hechicero, just because he's booked or he's getting a good presence outside of CML doesn't mean that CML is going to book him as great as they've been booking him outside of CML. So you can't expect that he's going to be booked as greatly as he's being booked outside. And Máscara Dorada, he's probably going to be in Torneo Increíble de Parejas finals, so you'll probably see him there.
Yeah, and to explain that a little bit, the Torneo Parejas Increíbles, I'm going to edit that part out. This torneo coming up with the mixed tag teams is one Técnico, one Rudo. So we're going to get like Máscara Dorada, and then maybe something like Soberano Jr., Templario, Rocky Romero, somebody who's like a Rudo and like the opposite of Máscara Dorada. So that's going to be really interesting. And it's honestly a really good opportunity for 4 guys to get on this card and put on fantastic match.
Yeah, exactly. And then like we were going down the rundown, the lineup of the CML team. I mean, great lineup. So there's some people complaining, but it's in my opinion, it's a great lineup.
Yeah, it's totally like a dream matchup for like the other side to face. Like obviously Blue Panther is Brian's guy. We all know that. But like you can't tell me like Mox and Claudio wouldn't want to face Ultimo Guerrero. Like he's made a name for himself. He's big kind of outside of Mexico. People, especially if you're guys like Mox and Claudio and even Yuta, who are just like freaks for wrestling anywhere, they're going to want to face him. He's one of the greatest. So it's like the CMLL dream team. Like you have like the past and the present right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I remember swinging on a prediction and just I've completely missed on it, but I was saying Torneo Cibernético, AEW, CMLL, but I don't mind Relevos Atómicos. I don't mind 4v4.
I think we could get a Torneo Cibernético maybe later down the line.
I don't think this is ending anytime soon.
Maybe they come for the Grand Prix. Maybe they can do just an AEW Grand Prix.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly they have like AEW / New Japan Grand Prix.
That would be nice.
That'd be crazy.
One thing I did want to mention, just preemptively, because I know the closer we're going to get to it, the more bad faith opinions we're going to hear about about this entire like match. People are going to Google who Blue Panther is, and they're just going to be like, "Oh, why is this 63-year-old man wrestling Bryan Danielson? Like, oh, why are they LOL? Like, why are they putting in this old guy?" And to that, I actually just want to make one point very clear. People were like actively cheering the decrepit movements of the Undertaker in his last matches, right? I don't want to hear anything about age from anybody, right?
Yeah. Like, sorry, go ahead, Foos.
No, I was just gonna say, if anybody is like criticizing the age of Blue Panther, or maybe he's a little bit slower, maybe he's a little older, I don't want to hear it, because I think Blue Panther at his age is giving more effort than like 90% of the guys anywhere else. I think that, and he's just so much more over than most people get in their entire careers.
I mean, you see him on Tuesday shows. The foreigners go crazy for the old man.
Yeah, I mean, like if you like a popular thing right now is to look at Sting and how Sting puts on great performances, and Sting has to do it in a protected like tornado tag where he can take his breathers and stuff, where Blue Panther's just working with his sons in like trios matches. He's in the match, he's hitting goddamn tilt-a-whirl backbreakers on dudes, like taking crazy bumps still. Like he can still fucking work, man. And like to concern troll that he's not capable of working an 8-man match with against 4 other guys who revere him and who would want to make him look good is like the most fucking ridiculous thing I can think of.
Exactly. I haven't seen any of these attacks yet. This is a
They're coming.
preemptive. This is preemptive. You know they're coming. I mean, people love to complain about anything. They love concern troll about anything. So it's coming. So just, if you hear that, they're not arguing in good faith. They most likely don't know what they're talking about. If you ask them, what's your favorite Blue Panther match? They're going to say, actually, it's called the Pink Panther, and he is a cartoon character and not a wrestler. So, but
yeah, like these people complaining, I can assure you they are not paying $35 a month to watch this show at all.
They're not even paying $8, man.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Not for the Tuesday shows. Pay $8 for the Tuesday shows. See what Blue Panther can still do.
He's awesome, dude. He's doing ramp dives, bro. He was doing ramp dives, dives from the apron. Like, he's real, dude. Like, the effort he puts in, and like you said with Sting looks. I mean, I think personally, Sting's look great. There's not been a point where I'm like, oh, Sting looks like shit, dude. Like, he needs to get out of there already. But he's going out on his own terms. Why can't other guys?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna cheer for one guy like who's older, you got to give the same grace to somebody else. Just
yeah.
That's just my thought on that. I don't mean to come off as too aggressive on there, but if I see Blue Panther hate, if I do see Blue Panther hate, I'm letting it loose, brother. I'm gonna be like, listen, compared to whoever they're repping, I'm gonna be like, they never drew a dime compared to Blue Panther.
But I can totally understand where you're coming from, and I'd also like to know one thing about this match, which is actually pretty awesome which I hope the request gets accepted. But Blue Panther specifically asked the Lucha Commission if he can wear the mask, if he can wear his mask for the entire match.
That's cool.
And I hope it's accepted because that would be such a cool thing. Seeing Blue Panther back on with his mask the entire match, doing some incredible technical wrestling with Bryan Danielson.
Oh man, could you imagine how Danielson would feel getting to wrestle Blue Panther like with mask and such on still? God damn.
Golly. Listen, El Fantasma, if you're listening, process that request. Get him on.
Let him.
Santos Escobar, if you're listening, ask your dad if Blue Panther can wear his mask. Oh, but it's going to be good. I'm super excited for it. And as we get closer and closer, obviously we're going to be talking more about Homenajes, Leyendas, any new developments that come from it, anything should be looking forward to. And also, that tournament with one Rudo, one Técnico. We're going to be covering the rounds of that as well.
Yes, we will.
Which brings us to our next segment. We're talking about tournaments, and we've already mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, we had the first round of El Torneo de Escuelas. This past Friday, we had the second round of El Torneo de Escuelas featuring the Puebla school and the Guadalajara school, yes. What are we thinking?
Okay, so let me just get this straight. I think the whole show overall was actually pretty good. Besides the title match, that was a little, Stephanie Vaca and Celtics and Lady Frost looked great, but there was a moment in that match. Someone was trying to go for a tope and they failed miserably. I thought it was, it was rough, but knowing who it is, you'll probably laugh.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like we're going really hard on her, but like if you had to watch what we're watching, like it's just not. She was already at a deficit with us because of prior actions, but then when you watch what's going on in the ring, we're just not too hot on anything that she does. Which is not to say that we would excuse. Let me go ahead and clear this up. Which is not to say that we would excuse any of her prior actions if she actually was good in the ring. We would still very much be upset about this entire thing, but it's like a double negative on negative. Yes. Usually,
there are good problematic wrestlers, and she's not even one of those. So,
and again, most of the time, we end up watching something else, flipping and being like, "This is not good." Like when that Mystico Matt Sydal match was playing at the same time her match was going, and we started watching that.
I just had it as background noise.
And it's a shame because I thought the other three women in the match were good. Lady Frost again she's really cool. She has I don't know, she just has a really cool presentation, hits her moves very well, knows what she can do inside the ring. But
She had a beautiful
yeah.
torneo to the outside.
Yeah, that
she
was
did.
great.
Really, really good. I agree with you though. I think the rest of that card was really good. My boy Felino Jr. hit the L in the opener.
Unfortunately,
Somebody's got to lose it.
yeah. And then that the Los Dulces Atrapasueños versus los Cancerberos del Infierno was honestly surprised. It surpassed my expectations, to say the least.
Bro, when God, who was it? It was either Cancerbero or Luciferno.
I think it was Luciferno.
Bro, he hit that like springboard plancha.
Yeah.
I was like, ain't no way. Like, it
This
looked
dude
good.
is like 50.
Yeah.
Doing this shit. Damn.
Smoked. I don't know if it was on Rey Cometa or if it was on Espiritu Negro.
It was one of them. Like, damn.
He laid them out crazy. Good
Big
match
time.
though. Good match though. I think we're getting a rematch, right? We're getting something out of it.
no.
There was like a challenge after, right?
There was a challenge, but Virus is like at a later time, not right now.
Oh man.
But yeah, we're not getting a rematch this upcoming Friday. We're not.
Nothing from that.
But another match on the card, which was surprisingly, like yet again, surpassed my expectations. Los Hermanos Chavez versus Star Junior and Flip Gordon.
That one actually, that one did surprise me. I did not think that Flip Gordon and Star Junior were going to pull that out, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, might be in like the top 3 Flip Gordon performances in CMLL
all time.
Yeah, maybe.
Star Junior's been on a bit of a baller run since the AEW call up. Maybe that was the he got encouragement a little bit, you know.
Yeah, he got some inspiration. Something sparked in him.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
Note to Flip Gordon also had a bra thrown at him after the match, and I was very confused.
That was crazy. Look, I was reading on Cubs fans write up that the Arena Coliseo match from I don't know, maybe last week Flip Gordon was in or something like that. That a fan tried to grope him or something.
Golly.
He's over crazy with the ladies, but maybe don't do that. Even you know, don't do that to people. Don't do that, performers. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
In general, don't do that.
Don't be gropey.
Yeah, even if they're not wrestlers, please don't do that.
Don't do that.
Please don't grope people.
Don't do that, but especially if they're wrestlers, and especially if they're not wrestlers, just don't do it at all. Okay.
Yeah.
But he does seem to have a very sizable
fan base.
He's very over with the ladies.
Yeah. And then for the main event, we had the other second semifinal round for Torneo de Escuelas, which was the Escuela de Guadalajara versus La Escuela de Puebla. And what did you guys think of this match?
I thought this match was way better than last week's match, which is to say last week's match wasn't bad, but I thought this one was really good.
No, yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, especially the backstretch of this match was it was incredible. Some great drama there. Really awesome.
In particular, I want to point out some of the people that I thought were incredible in this match. Let me start off with Guadalajara. I thought Barbosa, he had a great presence. That one spot he did where he jumped up to the top rope, and then there was a bunch of people huddled up because they were jumping someone from the opposite team, and he interceded it with a dive. That was great. I wish he would have gotten a little bit more presence in the match because I feel like he was eliminated too early. I thought he was going to be the final one in the match for his team, but he wasn't. Calavera Jr. 1 and 2, which are the nephews of the original Oro, I thought they honestly did pretty well. I really like their teamwork. I like how they work. They occasionally work Martes de Glamour, and sometimes they have some pretty decent performances, not that great of performances. But I thought they did honestly really well here.
They look good. They look really good.
They
looked really good. I think they're still a bit green, but I feel like with a bit more time and more rev, whenever they get more reps in, I think they can be like a very solid tag team to add to the CML roster, and maybe like an eventual match with like I don't know some other younger guys like Neon and Futuro, or two other young guys.
Exciting, dude. It's really exciting because
It's really exciting,
these guys
and
you can tell like they're like you said they're green, but like they got it. They you
yeah,
just
they
need to
got potential, like
polish it up a bit.
exactly. And from the Puebla team, I thought one of the people that I thought actually was pretty decent. I thought El Hijo de Centella Roja was honestly pretty decent. Um, El Malayo was also he was all right. I feel like one of them definitely has some family connection that we don't know yet, and they'll reveal it eventually. But for now, we don't know. But the big standout from this match, and especially on the Puebla team, was Xelhua. Holy hell, he had an incredible performance.
He looked like he
And
belonged, like not even like
yes,
in the tournament. Like he looked
yes,
like he belonged just like on a Friday show.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so he actually, I'm pretty sure he had appeared already previously on a Friday show as like a preview match or something like that. But like, if you guys remember, or if you can call back to the first episode that we did on predicting possible people for La Gran Alternativa,
Called it.
if you don't, I said Xelhua is going to be someone from Puebla to watch out for, and in this match, he proved me so right. He his look is it's like he has a classic look, but his mask feels like a little bit more
Hmm.
modernish. And the way he presents himself is honestly it's like great. If you saw his entrance whenever he was coming out with his team, he looked really good. Like you could tell this guy is like he's a real deal. And
Yeah, step
actually,
above.
exactly. And I was fine. I was looking more into him and his background and stuff like that. And his uncle is actually Ciclon Ramirez,
He got some pedigree,
and then
man.
his yes, and his father is SWAT. So he is, I believe, a second generation luchador. And the thing about him, I think, as like I would keep saying, I was looking more into his background. I think what makes me so interested to see where he goes on from here was like how he was already having some success in other parts, like in other industries. Like I think he was having some slight success in like the movie industry and or like the film industry, and not only that, but also in like the radio industry and stuff like that. So the fact that he decided to dedicate and stick with lucha libre instead of two other paths that could have honestly made him more money is honestly something that I I really respect that. I highly respect him for doing that, for sticking with lucha libre, especially since he said he started training at age 3, which
That's
is insane to
crazy.
God
me.
damn. Love of the game
Yeah.
right
I was about
there.
to say somebody
Yes.
hit the button that says for the love of the game.
For the love of the game, and I love how he seems like an overall positive dude, but you know his in ring style for that match, for like I feel like the beginning stretch and somewhat the middle stretch we didn't get to see as much of him, but then towards that like the second half of the middle stretch and then the ending stretch, holy, this guy was doing some great stuff. Like I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people, a lot of like old head lucha fans that are like, man, these flips aren't all lucha libre is flip and it's athleticism, or even like American fans that don't know anything about lucha libre, they're like, oh, it's all just flips and gymnastics and all of that.
Bro, they
If
say
you're
it's
going to
puro
complain
circo.
about that, yeah, they say that. If you think that's what it is, if you think that's all it is, it's not. You need to see Xelhua. His performance was great. Yes, he did a couple of like tope suicidas and he did do like a moonsault, but that was only like a very tiny part of it. Most of the time, he was doing a bunch of llaveo. Like there was a tweet that Rob Viper made of like four of the llaves that he did, and holy hell, he looked incredible. He looked like a natural.
He looked really
At
good.
He looked really good and just like a natural at like for his age because he's like 19
Golly.
Crazy.
and looking that good, and seeing that he's like that's the type of like he definitely seems like more of a llaveo wrestler. I feel like Xelhua is going to be probably the biggest person to look out for from like out of this entire tournament. If there's anybody to go look out for after this tournament, it's Xelhua because he's 19. He has his presentation is incredible. his wrestling style is also great with doing the necessary high flying stuff that he needs, but also mixing it with a bunch of llaveo. And I can see like maybe next year or a few years from now, I can see him being the best, the second best or the best technical luchador. Maybe even ahead of like Hechicero and Virus.
He was balling out crazy. Also, his name is really cool. Xelhua.
Yes.
He's like that's an Aztec god. It's like a giant, or not a god. It's like a giant, I think.
Yeah, and he even has like his own YouTube channel where he went into detail about the story of Xelhua and like the backstory of it. So if you want to check that out, you can go check that out. I think his channel is Xelhua Luchador. So if you want to check that out, it's there for you to see. But that's my tangent about Xelhua. You guys can talk about who you guys really enjoyed from this match now.
I was gonna say you absolutely deserve that victory lap because you've been on the Xelhua wave, like you've been on that wave. So like pioneer fan for sure. You absolutely deserve to go on a victory lap for that because it's awesome seeing a guy that you really like, put your beliefs behind, seeing him like succeed. So that's really good. And yeah, I agree with you. Like everything you said. He was a beast. I didn't know he was only 19. He must be in the gym hitting crazy because like
he has to. I mean, he's tall, and not only that, but he's jacked.
Bro, he's gonna have like that Hechicero build, bro. Like if he's 19, he looks like that. He's gonna fill out some more.
I think he said he's actually a light heavyweight right now, and he's trying to get to the heavyweight division.
No, he wants to be a classic guy, bro. No, he looks like
Yeah.
Lucha's back, bro. Lucha's back. Old heads, they're coming back, bro. You're going to see the front row of Arena Mexico, 90 plus only. And that's beast. Like, he was really good. I have it in my notes here. His first sequence with Adrenalina, Xelhua and Adrenalina, they had a really good sequence together.
Yes.
I liked Rayo Metálico. I liked what I saw from him on Friday. I thought he stood out to me a good bit. I already mentioned this, but I do think that this round was better than the first round. Fantástico. He had a great elimination on Rey Apocalipsis. And just overall, I think Adrenalina was really good too. Soups, what do you got for me?
Barbosa was really cool. When I saw the the pre-match interview that he had, I was very skeptical. I was like, who's this Zandokan knockoff punk here? But then this might be a crazy statement, not indicative of their wrestling skills, but I think Barbosa might be a better pirate than Zandokan. Just the way he moves around the ring, I'm like, this guy's a fucking pirate, man. Like when he the dive that Floke was talking about earlier, where he does a crazy flip, it looked so uncontrolled, but like it was in a super controlled way, but he just has these weird mannerisms that are super like enchanting to watch. You just can't take your eyes off of him.
Yeah.
And he's got the Chris Brooks shoulder guard thingy.
Yeah, he does.
Beast. Yeah, he did actually. I was thinking back about it. I liked his whole look. He had a good fit. He had a really good fit.
Yeah, he had.
Yeah.
His pants were a little baggy, but that felt more pirate-ish to me.
He needs to wrestle in the baggy white shirt, maybe. Maybe we go take it all the way.
Yeah. That's definitely not a bad idea.
Give him a hook.
Holy.
But like, or give him a sword, like a saber.
If I'm not mistaken, actually. Yeah, something like, honestly, I know that occasionally they have teamed Sandokan Jr. and Barbosa have occasionally teamed up in Arena Coliseo de Guadalajara. Have them come out like full pirate, just like full pirate. Have one of them bring out the flag. Have one of them with the hook. Go full pirate.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be
entire
nice.
Aesthetic.
Or put him up with Rey Bucanero.
Oh yeah, just put them as a trio. Just put them on a random Martes de Glamour. Pair them up, and then just make them come out with the most pirate look you can come up with.
Bro, license the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song for their intro.
Yes. Well, I mean, Martes de Glamour, they still play on the songs that they don't have the license to.
Oh man. But yeah, no, good stuff. Really good stuff. I was really happy about the show Friday night. I watched half of it last night and I watched the second half this morning. Just because I got really sleepy last night. It didn't mean the show was bad. I was just really tired. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. I didn't fall asleep watching the show. I was watching the show, and then I was like, I can't fully pay attention to this and appreciate it. I'm gonna have to watch it tomorrow. And then
You pulled the ripcord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good stuff though. No, Xelhua, he's definitely the guy.
He's the guy. You
Baller.
can tell out of everybody in this round, he's definitely the guy that I can, especially because he's only 19 and like he was the final person in his team to win it. Like he was the final member of his team, and he had to go up against both Calavera Jr. 1 and 2, and he beat both of them.
It was awesome.
Yeah. CML probably has big plans for this guy, and he's probably sticking around in Ciudad de Mexico.
I love that the sequence where he took out Calavera 2 when he pushed Calavera 1 over the post when he was celebrating.
Yeah.
Power bombed Calavera 2 and then put him in that llave. It was nice.
Yeah.
Sick stuff. I'm excited for next week's finals.
Yes.
Two good teams, and I think if we can get the same level of energy from this past Friday, then success. Another successful Torneo de Escuelas.
Yes. And if you're asking me who I think should win, Escuela de Puebla.
I agree.
And at the same time that some of these CML shows were happening in Mexico, some in Guadalajara, some in Puebla. We had some of our more notable wrestlers from CML go to Japan for Fantastica Mania, and why don't we segue into that?
For sure.
Soups.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are gonna have to tell this one more than me because I have not watched any of Fantastica Mania yet, so I'm gonna leave this one up to y'all. I may interject though. I may ask a few questions just for my own sake.
All right. So Soups, what did you think of like Fantastica Mania night 1 and night 2?
Night 1 and night 2. I think we were talking about this as they were happening, but they were just your kind of standard Road 2 shows. But the big draw of the Fantastica Mania tour is the way the crowd engages with the luchadors, who they really only see once a year, with some notable exceptions. But the air horns going crazy, all the Japanese fans with the Mexican flags making lots of noise, and just getting to see all the CMLL stars in a different atmosphere is super engaging. And then the matches on top of that they're okay. They're good to okay. They're nothing crazy for the first little bit until they get to Kurikan.
Yeah. I think there was like a few standout matches, or like some that were like, better than just average or, better than decent. I think one of the better matches was the one where we had Místico and Máscara Dorada teaming up with El Presidente, Hiroshi Tanahashi, against Los Guerreros Laguneros and their, I think he might be like their new intern, Francesco Akira. I think that match was honestly pretty decent. Místico had like some sort of like lingering injury, or it might have been just some jet lag from arriving. But besides like Místico having a few stumbles or like just looking a little less Místico than usual, I feel like that match was honestly pretty decent. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, he looked to have straightened whatever was bothering him out by, I guess, the end of the tour hasn't happened as of the recording of this, but last night's show, he looked fine.
Yeah, and then they had the yearly tag tournament. I think this year they just had it. They were just called like Torneo de Facción or something along those lines. But they had Los Ingobernables de Japón face off against Los Guerreros Laguneros, and then they had on the other side of the bracket they had La Fuerza Poblana. They had Stigma and Pegaso going up against Los Depredadores, Magnus and Volador Jr. And I went back and saw those matches, and I think it was pretty obvious that Volador Jr. was a little mad at the referee because the match ended a little too early. So that was like one of those. I think one funny part actually about that, Volador sort of getting mad at that the match finished too early, was that even like Japanese fans, whenever you search like the hashtag NJCMLL, you would they were like, it was like, did he mess up? Like, what happened? Even they were like confused. And I think that's just like something funny to know. And then LIJ versus Guerreros Aguneros I think it was decent. I mean, I don't think they put in as much effort as I wish they would have, but it was a match that was like pretty decent. You don't have to go out of your way to watch it, but it's there if you want to check out some fun stuff from Fantastica Mania.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing crazy, especially in the middle of the tour, as they're really just kind of saving up for the last two Korakuen shows. But
Yeah.
they were fine. You can watch them if you want. You cannot watch them. I don't think you're changing your life either way.
Yeah. I want to make note of a couple of challenges that have they've been teasing throughout this mini tour, the Fantastica Mania tour that happens. I think the first challenge we actually got was Hechicero. It was either Hechicero challenging Hiroshi Tanahashi for the NJPW TV title, and Hiroshi Tanahashi said that he agreed to defend it against Hechicero if he beats Matt Riddle.
Oh God, please! Never wanted
And
a win more.
and another sort of interesting challenge that we saw was Místico sort of wanting to tease like a defense against Doki in maybe Arena Mexico, maybe in
That's
New Japan.
crazy.
We
That's
don't
awesome.
know. And oh yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, I think to build on that, they've been kind of simmering a feud between Mascara Dorada and Francesco Akira that isn't finishing on this tour. So I'm really curious to see where that goes. If that's kind of our confirmation that he'll be working Best of the Super Juniors and they'll lock up there.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't be opposed to seeing Francesco in CMLL at some point. I think that would be really awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to see him come back. But I do think they are probably going to put Mascara Dorada in the Best of Super Junior. It just makes sense. I feel like it makes a lot of sense. But especially since even like in a post-match interview, Francesco Akira was like, "I want a singles match with Mascara Dorada, whether it's in the USA, whether it's in the whether it's in Mexico, Japan, Europe, or Best of the Super Junior. I just want a singles match with Mascara Dorada."
Yeah, I guess they are running that. New Japan's running the New Japan Strong Show in Los Angeles, and I think they're running it at the Toyota Center in Ontario, California. So maybe that's something they want to save for there. Have a
maybe there, or
cool match there.
It could be there, or it could be at a future date, like we were saying, Best of the Super Juniors in a few months, but we'll see. But let's move on to the Korakuen Hall show.
Yeah, the last two matches of this show, especially, where I would say go out of your way to watch them. Soberano Jr. and Templario was fantastic, and Volador Jr. and Rocky Romero just very like automatic stuff. Like you can throw those guys together in any ring, any size in the world. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Real beasts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I particularly really enjoyed Soberano versus Templario. I was like, this match is either going to, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be like the best thing in the world, or it's not going to over exceed my expectations, or it was just going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be like their match that they had earlier this year, where it was like the character build was great, but the in-ring action wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But I was very wrong. Very, very wrong. Specifically when we had Soberano do the Fosbury flop 2 minutes into the match.
Yeah, this was a weird little kind of mini feud built up through this tour. I believe it was the night before this. They were in a tag match together, and it ended via disqualification, where Templario ripped Soberano's mask off.
Yes, he did.
And for the people watching CMLL who's very familiar with Soberano being a Rudo now, on this tour, he's very much been a Technico, despite wearing the same gear with the inverted cross, the black eyes, and he's going around giving the heart fist bumps to all the fans, and just being very charming while looking like a menace.
Yeah, because he's been like in a sort of weird position this whole tour, where like I think in the opening day of Fantastica Mania for this tour, I think he was in the Rudos side because he was teaming with Rocky Romero. But then whenever they had like you were saying, the match the previous night, where it was Soberano and Brillante Jr. versus Doki and Templario. Templario and Doki were playing the rudos, while Soberano and Brillante Jr. were playing the técnicos.
Yeah. And
So
like
he's been
big time too, like ripped his mask off and then they just
yeah,
started beating the hell out of him.
yeah, and Templario even beat up some of the young lions.
Yeah, that was great.
Beast.
And yeah, so he's sort of been Soberano has been in like a weird sort of position when it comes to this tour, because like he's very much a rudo in CML, but it seems like putting that aside, the New Japan fans don't really care, and they still see him as like, oh, he's like a técnico, he's like this, he's a good guy.
Yeah. He took his sweater off and got a
They pop.
huge pop from the crowd.
Yeah. The match itself was great. There was one particular moment where I'm pretty sure this probably a
bastard
tweet out.
driver.
Yeah, it's. I thought Soberano was trying to kill Templario right there, man.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of
He
that
did.
on Twitter,
Mhm.
and I literally said, "Oh my god!" Like,
Yeah, he
holy!
double tapped him.
Dropped
he
him on
hit
the
him with
apron, and then he dropped him on the floor.
but he checked on him right away. They finished the match. They seemed to be fine, so that's good.
Yeah, and the rest of the match, even though it felt like there was like some clunkiness or like some like very slight disconnection. The action was still great from both men, and they were going all out in that match.
Yeah, and Soberano really had to kill him at the end with two
Yeah.
Soberano drivers.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I've been just mainly watching like through clips on Twitter right now because I'm not dropping the New Japan World subscription yet. But I will say, once the tour is over, I'll drop the 10 and just watch all of it at once if I can on their streaming service. Including, I mean, I watched a few of the clips and then I watched the Volador Jr. post match with Rocky Romero, where people
We'll get
were.
to that.
I was gonna say where people were
Yo, I
thinking.
can't believe he left his son there, man.
Yeah, he left his son there. Whoa,
People
hold
were
on.
that's crazy, bro. People were a mistranslation apparently from I don't know who.
Yeah.
Where
But
it came from, yeah, jeez.
Yeah, we don't know where it came from, but there was a mistranslation and people thought Volador Jr. is leaving his like 9 or 10-year-old son in Japan to train. Oh, that's child abuse.
Yeah,
And the people that were spreading that stuff, it's like, why do you post it if you're not certain that the
And
translation is 100% correct? Don't post it. I get it. You want the engagement, you want the views, you want the likes, you want the retweets. But whenever it's stuff like Volador Jr., you're saying that Volador Jr. is leaving his son in Japan that's only
yeah,
like 10 years old.
You're saying-
maybe make sure that you're 100% right before you put that out to the internet.
and even if you're not, like, even if you're wrong, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
You should probably issue a tweet saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I was wrong. I apologize.
Guys, yeah.
This is irresponsible of me."
Yeah,
I was gonna
don't keep your tweet up.
like listening to the actual because like I wanted to hear it to be like, okay, where's the mistranslation coming from here, right? And like when Volador is talking about his son, like he's talking about his legacy, which is going like it's going to be his son, and he's saying like my legacy is going to be, my son who wants to be luchador as well, like Volador 3, I guess. I don't know what he would want to call him, but he wasn't literally saying he's going to leave his son there. He was more like saying like I give you my legacy, like this is him, right? This is like
Yeah.
going to be the next, part of me in a way, like if that makes sense,
Yeah.
Yes.
If I can add some more context to how badly mistranslated this is, if my Canadian doesn't speak Spanish ass picked up that that's not what he was saying, I don't understand how someone can run with that translation and treat it as fact.
They were way too literal.
Yeah. It's this is who I am leaving. Like this is the heir to Volador, basically. This is like
he's the third generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like this, the thing that makes it even more silly is like you're telling me the guy who actually in the shows is the leader and like his faction of depredadores, they actively call him their teacher, and like he is like their
like wrestling father.
Yeah, like their actual instructor. You're telling me that he's gonna leave his 10-year-old son in another country to study in the New Japan dojos when he could
10.
Their
He can-
child.
he can like send his child to any of the CMLL schools if he wanted to. Honestly, like he could go
Yeah.
train under anybody.
He could bring his child to work and learn under him.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I get it. Like, okay, mistranslations happen, and like maybe it was a little confusing, but we gotta
We got to do better.
yeah, just look at
Responsible.
it, like just look at it again and be like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think about it for a second. Think about it for a second before you post it.
Yeah, because made him look so bad. It made him look so bad to a bunch of guys on Reddit who they don't follow Volador. They don't know,
Yeah, they don't know who he is.
The guys on Squared
God.
Circle are not. I could count on one hand the amount of times I've seen a CMLL post on Squared Circle like even touch like 100 upvotes. Like, come on,
Yeah.
context matters, and you gotta like if you want to be a quote unquote like reporter, if you want to break stuff like that. Before, then the thing is too, like when things are like announced or when things are said on like Informa or like during a show or like a tweet comes out or something, like I try and be sure to research as much as I can about like the context of like, even if it's something simple, I want to make sure it's right before I say anything about it because I don't want egg on my face, I don't think anybody
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
absolutely.
make anybody look like shit either. That's not,
But
it's not my thing.
I guess it's easier to just delete it, block people who get upset at you, and then repost the same 3 Julia clips over and over.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. We won't mention, but
Yeah, you know who it is.
Speaking of like those certain those rumors that ended up being false. There was like recently like also another report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
oh yeah,
About the AEW and CML
Yeah,
relationship.
they're not letting Mexican people on the shows
Yeah,
anymore.
they're
That's
not.
crazy.
racial
They're not letting us-
discrimination.
Wow. That ended up being proven false, and yet again, a bunch of some of the people that always are trying to report the news first. They were retweeting it, and then you had a bunch of people talking shit and saying a bunch of stuff that about on a subject that they don't know anything about, and their only sources from one person or from one source that might not even be 100% correct. But yeah,
I want to say this
But-
about that. I want to say this really quick.
Yeah.
Do you know
go
how
ahead.
funny it is for that report to come out and then being like, no other Mexicans can appear when CMLL guys appear, and then that very same night, the CMLL cameras are like, Thunder Rosa's here.
Thunder Rosa?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, all right, man, sure.
Yeah. And like it was disproven when they have Commander on the same
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
The
They
CML.
had Commander on the same show.
It was like the
Appeared
next
on-
segment.
Yeah.
It was a very next segment, bro. And then it's
Yeah.
like, all right, like, and the thing is, like, we can't be 100% certain who the source leaking this to the Wrestling Observer newsletter was. We can't be 100% certain with that, but whoever it is clearly has an axe to grind against CMLL, and like they clearly would benefit from the relationship being a bit strained or a bad light being cast on CMLL, fans turning against the relationship. So like when you hear things like this, it is like important for context, and like you should hear like these things, like confirm them with somebody. And what's crazy too about the Wrestling Observer stuff was they said something else. Like they were like, oh, Tommy Dreamer is the new creative guy, and then like almost immediately Tommy Dreamer was like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not the new creative guy at TNA. Like,
I don't know, man. Like those are such like small things. Like we don't want to go too hard on them, but like
yeah,
let's just
Tighten up. Tighten up a
I
little bit.
know. Yeah,
I'd forgotten all about that. Like it got disproven within like a few hours, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Yeah.
not true, I guess.
Yeah, we won't
story.
say who the potential leaker is, but it might rhyme with Bonan.
yeah, yeah.
Which did anybody
and,
did anybody catch? Anybody go down to Mexico and watch the Triple A show from last night?
No,
it was
they,
the TV, right?
just
But
to be at
tonight's
the
the live
border.
one.
Yeah, tonight's a live one. I unfortunately couldn't walk down all the way to Mexico again this weekend to watch, part of Rey de Reyes. I couldn't watch it, unfortunately.
Which, look, I'm gonna say this as well. The one of the advertised guys, I think in the main event for tonight's AAA show center was Hijo de Vikingo, but we actually got a clip of Hijo de Vikingo in, I think they were in Tijuana, right? They were doing a show in Tijuana
I
with
think so.
somebody else,
Yeah.
and he picked up a pretty gnarly injury.
Yeah.
So I really, for his sake, I hope everything is okay. I hope it's not as bad as it seemed. And I hope his recovery, if it is like an injury, I hope his recovery is quick. I like Hijo del Vikingo. He, we on this podcast we don't root for injuries.
Yeah, we don't.
And we especially, it doesn't matter what company they're in. We don't root for injuries like that.
We don't
like,
root for, we don't root for, the injuries are something that, a lot of wrestlers have to deal with, and, it sucks whenever you have to see someone that's very talented, or just someone in general that, clearly loves the sport, and, they're having to take time off because of an injury that they had in ring or outside of the ring. It sucks.
Yeah, even guys we don't like, even people we don't like, we're not rooting for them to get injured.
Yeah.
But, that sucks for him though. But, interested to see what comes out of, because they're taping. I think they're taping tonight for AAA.
Yeah, I think they are.
I probably won't watch any of it, but I'll read the results and see. Just because the guys that they have are not people that interest me too much right now, especially with everything else. Like, there's so much other stuff to be watching.
Yeah.
Unless I hear that like every match is a 5-star, like wow, they really turned it up, then I probably won't be watching. And I probably won't be watching the main event either, just because got some problematic guys who I don't really want to put eyes on.
Yeah, I might watch like a couple of it, but like probably not the entire show, especially not the main event.
And again, we'll say AAA has some good workers. We've talked about it before. They're just in a weird down
state.
period. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But moving a little bit aside, moving aside from the Fantastica Mania talk, the entire rumor talk about AEW and CML relationship, and Vikingo getting injured. Sort of more on like in the independent scene, we had some news, or at least the first presentation of Blue Demon 3. We finally got to see him for the first time in public.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What'd you think about that?
I thought it was interesting. He is, according to Blue Demon Jr., he is his nephew. So Blue Demon 3 is the nephew of Blue Demon Jr. The mask design is basically the same, except at the back, where like he has to try and, you have to tie the mask. There's three G's on like the left and the right, basically to sort of symbolize like the generation, Blue Demon 3.
And the original, I was gonna say, the original Blue Demon, he adopted Blue Demon Jr., right? So it's not like his direct grandnephew, but it's like his adopted grandnephew.
Yeah.
So the legacy continues. I hope.
Yeah.
I think we all hope he does well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We haven't seen him in ring. I think his debut is still like a month away or something along those lines. But I hope he has success. Keeping the the Blue Demon name alive, and just keeping the family and the name moving forward in Lucha Libre in general. I hope he succeeds, and we'll hopefully see some videos or some clips of what he's like in the ring whenever his time comes to debut in like a month.
Wishing him the best. Maybe he'll end up in Noah one day, like we were saying.
Oh my! Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy. He could definitely end up there.
Yeah. Besides that, there's some other news. We actually have some news, sort of intersecting with a different style of wrestling, which is Joshi wrestling. We have a ladies ring event coming up soon, or it might have already happened. I don't think it's happened yet, but as of the time of this recording, but there's a match that's happening in this ladies ring show, which is interesting to see because the match is being advertised as like a fatal 5-way match, and supposedly the prize is a championship, and supposedly whoever wins this match as well is going to train or going to get some sort of like trip down to Mexico to train there for a bit. So that's something to look forward to. The 5 ladies in contention for this championship or this opportunity to go down in Mexico and study or train, it might be with CML, it might not be. We're not sure yet. It hasn't been clarified yet. But the 5 names that are in this match are Zones, Sumika Yanagawa, Misa Kaura, Honoka, and Kisuna Tanaka. So whenever we have the next episode, I'm sure the match will have already happened and we'll be talking about it. Maybe they'll clarify what the situation is like, but I wish luck to all of the ladies, and we'll see who wins the championship and who's possibly coming down to Mexico to train and possibly wrestle in CML for a bit.
It'd be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. I love when people come
Yes.
in for, a little bit of an extended time, few weeks,
Yes.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. That's
Good
exciting. That's a really exciting
Yeah, it is
opportunity.
exciting. Yeah, it's exciting stuff for it's I've heard that I feel like a friend of me told me that a friend of mine told me that actually like 2 or 3 of them actually only have like less than a year, wrestling.
Oh
So
goddamn!
yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see. Maybe they'll pick one of the younger Joshis, or one of the older ones. But we'll see what happens there. I haven't seen too much of them. I've only seen a little bit of Misa Kaura and Zones. I've been impressed with Zones. I really like her style of wrestling, and Misa Kaura has also impressed me a good amount.
I'd
And
be,
go ahead.
no, I was just going to say it'll be interesting. I think for being so young, that's a massive opportunity then. You can learn a
Oh yeah.
ton.
Another match that's happening on that ladies ring event that's going to happen on the 25th is Las Chicas Indomables, Lluvia and Jarochita, facing off against Mei Suruga and Unagi Sayaka.
Oh
And
damn!
yeah, so that's the main of the show. And I don't like to feed into rumors too much, but there's a rumor that Unagi might be in the Women's Grand Prix this year, so that might be something to look out for. Whenever the Women's Grand Prix comes around this year, we'll see if she's in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Staying still a little bit on the topic of Joshi wrestling for this episode. On one of the Fantastica Mania nights, I think actually the night before this most recent Korakuen Hall show, we had the first basically official match, between CML and Stardom, where we had Las Chicas Indomables again of Jarochita and Lluvia facing off against Oedo Tai, Starlight Kid, and Raka. And Soups, you watched that match, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. I really like when Starlight Kid gets showcased. But yeah, no, I'd like to see Starlight Kid maybe in Arena Mexico one day. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, same here. I think it was a good match. Honestly, I saw some people, being a little bit negative on it, but I honestly really enjoyed it. I liked how I felt that Lluvia and Harochita were putting a little bit more effort into this match, and I really like how much action they got in.
Yeah,
I thought it was a solid. I thought there was solid performances from all 4, and I thought it was a good match, a good opener for that night.
I wish they would have saved it for the Korakuen shows.
Yeah. Yes.
Just to get more eyes on it. Those are the 2 shows that everybody will be watching.
Yeah.
But what can we do? I'm happy
Yeah.
we got it at least. It's it's progress.
Yeah, it's progress, and the first time thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sticking on the sort of more international news, a match that was announced between this episode and the last episode that we recorded. There was a match announced for February 29th, in MLW, Star Junior versus Magnus. A very random match, I must say. That who knows? Maybe Star Junior will pull out some great stuff in this match as well. I was not expecting this match to be announced. It does feel a little bit random, but you know, it's good to see CML getting more international opportunities, and definitely 2 guys who've worked a good amount, and they deserve to showcase their skills. So you know, if you're subscribed to I think it's Fight TV, or if it's a TV taping, you'll eventually see the match, and let's hope for the best performance for these 2.
That does
Yeah,
feel like a random match.
Very
Yeah.
random. It's this weird, it's weird seeing CMLL guys put in this position where they're kind of in the like Dario Cueto or what's his name, Cesar Duran, like
Cesar Duran.
proxy war, like because he just had Mystico represent him against Averno on the
Yeah.
last show. So it's weird to see like the luchadors of the week being CMLL guys now. But I mean, take it.
I was gonna say, Mystico has a title match against Rocky Romero.
Oh yeah, on that same show, he
Yeah.
Mystico is challenging Rocky for the MLW World Middleweight Championship, I believe. And you know, that match should be fun.
Congratulations to Mystico.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a bunch of good stuff coming up. I was gonna say one more thing. I think this could be probably one of the last things we mention here because it was just announced today. Fantastica Mania UK. We got a date. May. I don't know exactly.
I think it's May 29th. No, May 19th. May 19th.
May 19th.
May 19th.
Fantastica Mania UK coming back to the United Kingdom. So that's awesome. Rev Pro and CMLL got another little show going. Let's see who goes over. Let's see who they ask for and what kind of matches we get. That's very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some title matches like we did last year. You know, we got a great Hechicero match last year, so who knows? Maybe he'll be called up again and, you know, put on another amazing performance.
For sure. I had a friend who went to that show. He said he loved it. And he said he really loved it. He's not even like a huge like wrestling guy, but he's been following like what I've been doing with Club Lucha. And it kind of like, he was like, I'm kind of close. Should I go? And I was like, for sure, dude. I think you'll really enjoy it. He said he loved it. He said he had a fantastic time. So, Reese, if you're listening, I'm probably going to text you about it. But if you listen to this after my text, know that I was already planning on texting you. But if you listen to this before my text.
What? Yeah, shout out to Reese, man.
I was going to say, if you listen to this before my text, it means my text has been delayed and I must have forgotten or something. So, I apologize for that. You should text me and then I'll tell you.
Golly, I can't process what was just said.
All right. I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
It's a great place to wrap it up.
You know, I want to mention, like, you know, just a couple matches, you know, coming up this week for CML, you know, before we wrap this episode up. On Tuesday, we have a match between Stephanie Vaquer versus La Catalina in mano a mano. We have a fourth match that looks incredible if you know, they work to their maximum effort. We have Neon Futuro and Maxis Star versus La Escuadra, Hijo del Villano Tercero, Sandokan Jr. and Villano Tercero Jr. And in the main event, we have Los Bárbaros versus Esfinge, Star Jr. and Flip Gordon. And then on Friday, we have the final Torneo de Escuelas, La Escuela de Ciudad de México versus La Escuela de Puebla. And we have a return from, you know, we have a surprise return, which I think it might have been changed. I'm not sure if it's been changed or not, but the original poster had Los Bárbaros versus Los Infernales, but it had Averno, Mephisto, and Hefesto, which we have not seen the character of Hefesto for a while. So I'm not sure if that was, you know, just a mistake on whoever, you know, made the card. I don't know if, you know, it was a mistake on their end, because there might be the updated card might have Euphoria instead of Hefesto, but we'll see what happens with that. And in the main event, we finally have Brillante Jr. and Neon appearing in their first main event match of Arena Mexico on a Friday show. You know, Brillante Jr. teaming up with Atlantis Jr. and Ángel de Oro, while Neon teams up with Soberano and Máscara Dorada.
Something about this one that's kind of catching my eye here is why are Soberano Jr. and Atlantis Jr. not switched?
Yeah, that's maybe Torneo. You know, maybe.
Oh yeah. That might be it. Actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, we might be looking at two of the teams right here then.
We might actually be looking at three of the teams.
Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, breaking news. If we're right, we're definitely going to take a lap. We're taking a big lap about this. But if we're wrong, forget you heard this. So
yeah. So those are some notable matches that you might want to look out for this week in CML. Another tiny one that you won't be able to watch because they're not streamed and uploaded to their YouTube is Los Bárbaros are defending their trios titles for the first time against Atlantis, Flip Gordon, and Star Jr. So that's happening on Monday, or if by the time of this recording it might have already happened, but we'll see if they'll probably successfully defend.
For sure. I think one thing that we're missing here that we got to mention is as well is the micro estrellas are
Oh yeah,
on Friday too. Micro Gemelos Diablo and Zacarias and Mije.
Yeah, I think this is like, I can't remember when was the last time they appeared on a Friday show, but yeah, after a somewhat absence, we finally get another Micros match on a Friday show.
I love the micros. I think they're so cool.
Let's go.
Good stuff. But I think this is a good place for us to wrap it up here for today. We've been going for quite a while. I'm gonna have to cut a little bit, I think, but it's fine. There's a lot to talk about. So, folk, anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
As usual, if you want to find me on Twitter, my Twitter is at the FH isn't real. If you want to see me talk about lucha and other stuff, you can find me and discuss lucha with me on there. And I also want to just notify, for the people listening, there will be an article dropping soon about a certain luchador. I can't reveal who yet, but coming soon, an article.
Right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And Soups, anything you want to tell the people before we sign off?
I guess you can follow me at Twitter or TikTok at Superliger. Soup spelt like the delicious. I don't know. Would you even call it a drink? Food? Soup.
I don't think I've ever heard it called a drink.
I mean, but you drink it, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Drink it with a spoon.
Yeah. Discord.gg/moonsalt. Lots of people joining lately. Lots of lucha enthusiasts. So that's been really cool. And last thing, don't leave your kids at the New Japan Dojo.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, for everyone listening, again, thank you so much. You can send any comments, questions, concerns, or just anything you want to say to us. theclublucha@gmail.com. That is theclublucha@gmail.com. That's it for this week's episode. And if you've listened to the end, again, thank you so much for your support. And we will see you next time. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.